Well, that 5 minutes could not go fast enough. I have been excited for today. I had to take my little daughter to the dentist, and we went for a nice drive in the countryside. We looked at a lake, Cara Lake in Glenbeigh. I'd never seen it before, and I was thinking to myself, I just honestly, I can't wait for this masterclass tonight. She was asking me how am I feeling. I was like, I'm so excited. I'm excited because of the feedback we've been getting from this group of people that have accumulated over the last. I'll fix this here. That have been accumulating in our group over the last few days, really. It was a 200 here and 300 there and 400, and it started to grow. And not only did it grow in volume, but in enthusiasm and in confidence and in kindness. You guys have been really, really nice to the team. It can feel like we can feel a bit awkward sometimes messaging. It's like, is it spamming or whatever? But as I said to one person yesterday, in a world of over there now is the automated banking machine, and over there now you go over there now and you scan your shopping and you put it in your own bag and get out of here. In a world of automated places, you go to the airport and you scan your passport, you get your boarding pass, you put it in the bag, and you're out of there. We love the personal human connection, so it's been really nice, and I want to say a massive thank you to all of you for the nice warm connections you've had with the guys who work with me. All of them have been exactly where you were before, and we're just really, really grateful. The chat in the WhatsApp group is like, these people are fantastic. So I want to thank you so much for that. Let's start off with something nice. We have a few nice things. First of all, we're going to be talking about the competition winner. Well, I should say the winner of we're rewarding you for doing the work that you need to do to get to the next level in your life. We're rewarding you for doing the homework. I think we had 50 something people out of, I think it was 180 that were live last night. I think we've had over 500 people watch the replay. But 50 something of you sent in photographs of you doing the homework. Look, that's top class. We don't need you to do it for us. We incentivize you to do it so that you can win my mentor Bob Proctor's top 5 favorite books. And we do have a winner for that. Let me just get the name. I know that I'm bringing on a man to, where is she, my dear? Yes, so I'm bringing on a man who picked her out. So basically, Ernestine, who works in our company, has been taking numbers of all of the people who uploaded your photograph, submitting your homework, showing us and proving to us that you did the homework. And she put a comment in the chat, and she said, I'm going to bring on this handsome devil here, John. So she put a comment in the chat. Hello, John. Welcome. She put a comment in the chat. This is John Doyle, everybody. Wasn't he gorgeous? type in the chat and show some love for John. I asked him to come on here with us because what John did was he picked out the name of the person. So Ernestine said it's a number from 1 to 50 something, and John said 11. And number 11 was Nicola. And now Nicola, there is a long name here. I'm going to say it's Chinchaluk, Nicola Chinchaluk, or Chinchaluk Nicola. And it was John Doyle that picked you out. So I want you to say thanks to John, and John say congratulations to her. But you know what? I'm a sneaky little devil, so I am, because it's actually this man's birthday today. So that's really why I brought you on, John. But it is nice that you actually picked her out. So from myself and from everybody in the academy and from everybody in the masterclass, we want to say a massive happy birthday. This is a carrot cake bun that my children are disappointed now that you're getting, but there you go. So everybody join me. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, John Doyle. Happy birthday to you. Okay, blow it out. That's class. He's like,
thanks very much, Declan. I had a sneaky suspicion that it wasn't just to call out a winner.
Yes, you've got me figured out at this stage. But listen, I hear you're a magician on the hurling field, and you're after doing some magic there now, blowing out a candle in South Kerry all the way from your own house. But listen, thanks so much, and John, thanks for being like a great client to the academy and for really moving into our team and serving people so well. And you're always, I got a lovely message off you last week when it was your 1-year anniversary, hanging around with us, and you didn't have to send it, but you did. So I really appreciate it. As they say here in Kerry, you're a good egg. So you're a good man. And anybody who's working with John, send him some love in your messages for his birthday today. So John, I'm going to boot you out now again. Lots of love. Take care, man.
Thanks for everything.
Bye. No, I know. Look, all the comments here are saying, can John sing a song? We might get him back at the end. We'll see how we get on. But anyway, let's get back into the masterclass. So congratulations, Nicola. Those 5 amazing books are winging their way to you. And congratulations, John, on your birthday. Okay, so we're going to talk today about creating predictable persistence. Now, if you remember the title of this masterclass, the title of the masterclass is truly achieve your goals in 2022. It's not make goals and then, you know, get into February and into Paddy's Day and then into the summertime and then forget about your goals. It's about truly achieving your goals. I just got off a call. So every night on a Tuesday night from 7 to 8:30, we're with the clients of the Academy. Many of you decided to take up our opportunity to join what we call the 6 a.m. Club. And the 6 a.m. Club is an hour of study where people know that, you know, you feel part of something. There's 120, 135 of you now. You know, there's 600 of us together in this group. It's me, my team, and you guys, and we kind of feel part of something. In our academy, it's like if you went to Trinity or UCC or NUIG Galway or LIT or wherever, whatever college you go to, you say, I go to that college. There's the faculty, there's the rooms, there's the buildings, there's the car parks, there's all that goes with it. And that's what we have. We've I guess, a virtual university of thought energy, how to think things into results, how to really, you know, you are going to doubt yourself. Like I started a new course this week, and when I started reading about the beginning, it's like what to expect. And the second paragraph was resistance. When you're changing and when you're growing, you know, you feel resistance. Anybody who follows me on Instagram, you'll see I talk about what it feels like walking from my house down to the ocean. Today I was meditating for 14 minutes. Our house has got underfloor heating. It's actually too hot sometimes, people say that. And I was meditating and I was like, I'm a bit cold. And I was like, it's so stupid that I'm thinking I'm cold when I'm going to be going down into the ocean on a cold, windy January 18th. So our mind really plays tricks on us. And our mind can make us not as persistent as maybe Serena Williams is, or not as persistent as Tiger Woods is, or not as persistent as J.K. Rowling is, or not as persistent as Mother Teresa was. And all of a sudden then, oh, I'm an effing waster, or I'm so bloody useless because I'm not this global expert on persistence. Guys, we're all fans, and we actually work in the industry of personal development, but nobody is not personally developing. You are developing into the person you want to become. You are developing a lifestyle that you want or don't want, but you're not doing nothing. Every day that you spend, you're either investing time and energy into creating a life that you want, and we all have the same 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You're either investing that time, money that's invested, time that's invested always gives you back more of the time that you've invested. Spending time with people always gives you back more than just, you know, spending and investing are two different words. So if you spend money, it's typically gone. If you invest money and you invest it well, it'll give you a return. Investing time into personal development is different than spending time. I just spent my time doing this. Spending time reading a book, spending time watching a video doesn't really get it. But if you commit to something, and if you say to yourself, I'm going to invest time and energy into creating the goal that you wrote last night. We had people an hour after the masterclass showing a list of their wants. This is what I want. If you invest time and money and energy into that, you are going to shock yourself at what's possible. But a lot of people don't. And then they say they're not persistent or they're not disciplined. So we're going to talk to you tonight how you can create not just a persistent streak, because it's very easy for you to hide in a big group and go, oh yeah, he's talking to everybody else. I'm talking to you. I'm talking right into your house, right into your laptop, to you, not anybody else. This masterclass is for you, each individual. And you're predictably persistent when it comes to hunger. You will eat something. You're predictably persistent when it comes to, you know, not feeling good after overindulging late November, right through December. It's kind of predictable that annually in January, you'll start to kind of revisit your healthy eating habits and maybe knock the drink on the head for a few weeks and go out walking on the beaches and, you know, walk off the brandy butter and the turkey. There is a predictable persistence that we do, but we're doing it with another P. We're doing it with patterns. So there's patterns of growth. There's patterns of dips and rises and dips. And that's where people get burnt out. They say, do you know what? That doesn't work. Maybe it works for other people, but not me. And what we tend to do then is our pesky little paradigm, which we'll discuss tomorrow and Thursday. It comes in and it's like, yeah, that's right. You get back in your box there, Nicola. You get back in your box there, Yelena. You're not all that. You couldn't do that. That goal you wrote on Monday night was silly. You're just part of this thing now and it's all hype. You're so silly. That's what it does. Today, as I said, 14-minute meditation, and I could feel like, you're a bit cold, Declan. Maybe you're not comfortable. You're not really getting into this meditation. And I was like, just stop, silly mind, busy mind. And then I was walking to the ocean later on, and I was as zen as could be. So our mind is an incredible tool, and we need to learn how to make it work for us, and we need to learn how to use it correctly, or it's like the tail wagging the dog or the dog wagging the tail. We really need to, our mind is a sacred gift. It's what sets us apart from the animal kingdom. Our ability to think, to visualize, to feel into what we want, and to become absolutely obsessed with getting the goals that we want to get. I guarantee you, you do not need to make enormous transformations to achieve those goals. It's small, little incremental steps compounded over time. I think it was Einstein that called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world, and that comes to finances and mathematics. Well, activities and actions and small little tiny wins compounded over time makes the people around you go, what's changed? Is it that course you're doing? Is it like something's gotten into you? What is it? First of all, you feel it within, then you'll start to notice the results outside of you, but then it's the feedback from those people that maybe weren't your greatest champions before. Maybe they weren't saying, you can do it. Maybe they were sniggering. Now all of a sudden they're like, tell me more about that. That's very interesting. You don't need their feedback. You don't need their adulation. You don't need their love. It's for you, and it's about you, because a lot of the time these people won't be there when you're lying in bed looking up at the ceiling with your eyes open. How am I going to pay that bill? When is it ever going to change? When am I going to stop flipping screwing myself over? You know, those people don't come along and go, I got you, buddy. So don't let them hold you back. Get everybody else out of your mind and get really clear that you can create predictable, persistent streak. So I'm going to ask you to really revisit your goal again. I'm going to ask you to look at the list of wants. And I'm going to ask you to circle 2 or 3 of those that are more important than the rest. You know, I talked about a boat yesterday. It's not the most important. I want to create really a really wonderful company that my clients succeed in, that my team succeeds in, that I feel really accomplished, you know. And then I think about their children and their families and their loved ones watching on at these people saying, God, the best thing they ever did was meet Declan, I don't know who. You know, like I think about everybody that's connected to this company, and how can I make their lives better? How can we improve it? How do we need to invest more into this and invest more into that? So I want you to circle the most important one to you and think about why it's the most important. You know, keep questioning, why do I want that? Well, I want to have more time off. Why do you want to have more time off? To spend more time with my family. Why? Because I love them, because they're so important to me. And you mightn't have thought about that. It might just be something that you think is a given. It's really important to ask yourself why you want the things you wrote down last night. And I finished about 8 o'clock, and Bob Proctor took over with an incredible video about desire. And you can watch that back again. And I would recommend you watch Desire back every night this week, or listen to it. You know, go to the guide section of our Facebook group, slide forward. You could watch all of me again if you want, but slide forward to the hour where Bob gives a powerful breakdown on a word called desire. And we think desire is maybe, you know, when people are in love, and or when there's a new product coming out and we all desire the latest iPhone. But desire is really a catalyst for enormous change. And as I said yesterday, human beings have an enormous capacity for change when the chips are down. And the difference between those that try and fail and those that try and succeed is they are absolutely obsessed with the desire to succeed. And it's always because it's going to do good for them, but more importantly, for others, like a kind of a contribution back to the world. Steve Bow is somebody that Bob quotes, and he said, God's gift to us was our chance at this one lifetime, and our gift back should be to do the absolute best that we can with the life that we're given. And I love that quote, and it really helped me to focus, stop being distracted. And tonight, with a little bit of time that I've given myself, I'm going to try and I really want you to feel into and accept the idea that you can be a very, very persistent person. And God knows you were persistent when you wanted sweets, when you were about two years of age. No matter what you wanted, a cup of milk, a slice of toast, you wanted to change the channel. Oh my God, you were a persistent young one and a young lad, weren't you? You were very persistent, but you got it trained out of you by manners. And I think manners are great, but you were put in your place. And don't be like that. You've had enough. Just don't be asking for things. Don't be asking for things. Stop. Shh. And we learn, I shouldn't ask for things. I'm not worthy. I'm only Declan. Somebody said to me today, it was you, Laura, if you're watching. Hi, Declan, only me. And it's like chalked on the board. She's extraordinary. Only me. You're all extraordinary. Okay, it's not only John, it's not only Rebecca, only Suzanne, only Eileen. You're incredible, and you're only here for one shot. So let's help you on day 2 to really understand how you can create predictable persistence, because you are all persistent, you are all disciplined, and you can all achieve these goals. It's not hype, it's not BS, it's very, very real. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is help you to relax a little bit. And I want you, if you're driving, don't do this. If you're at home, just close your eyes for a second. And I want you to really think about something that you are so glad that you did in your life. I am so glad that June and I traveled from the 2nd of February 2005 to the 2nd of February 2006. I'm so glad I did that. I am so glad that I used to call over to my granny and spend time with her and helping her out around the house. I have a lovely relationship with my grandmother. I'm so glad I did that. I'm so glad that when I was scared and I didn't have a lot of money in this company and it was all on my own, that I asked this girl called Laura, would you ever think about working with me? And it started something beautiful. I'm so glad I did that. Okay. Now, I was in a meditation today and I didn't plan this gladness exercise. And while I was meditating, I was hearing glad rap. Glad rap. I was like, what the fuck is glad rap about? Cling film, like glad rap. And I started thinking, what's glad about? And I started thinking, I'm glad. And I started thinking about my grandmother and the time I spent with her, just listening to her and talking with her and singing together, and lovely, great memories. Think about all the little wrinkles in her hands and buy in, get me this and reach up for that and bring in the turf and take out the ashes, and just magical memories, you know, nobody can take them away from me. I'm so glad I spent that time with her. So I was like glad. And then I was like rap. I was like, what the fuck is that about? And I was thinking, what about if everybody tonight feels really nice and easy going into this session? Because persistence is something you can really dissociate from very quickly. And I don't want you to do that. I want you to really stay connected to this, because this is powerful. And there will be a resistance in each and every one of you, because your inner paradigm that we're going to talk about tomorrow on Thursday is going to be like, well, I know there's a match, just turn on the telly. Don't you need to catch up on Corrie? You know, all these silly little distractions. Sure, you didn't pay anything for the masterclass. Just forget about it tonight. It's incredible, the resistance. And I want you to lean in and really wrap yourself around it. So I was thinking, what are you so glad for? And let's hear about it. Let's hear about it in the chat. What are you so glad about? What's that one thing that you're really glad you did? And I just thought, you know what? Just wrap that around yourself and get into this call tonight. And let's take on let's take on, like you would drink a beautiful fresh glass of water on a day where you're parched. Just drink in persistence and accept it tonight that you sat down today to do this masterclass, and you're going to get up a completely different person. You're going to accept that persistence is in you as much as your lungs are, as much as your veins are. It is now part of you after tonight. Okay, so let's talk about how we create predictable persistence in our life. First thing, to become a persistent person. And I want to say that from 7 to 8:30, we spend that time with our clients. And I asked them tonight, what is one thing that is a non-negotiable for you? Because this week we're studying how to create new standards, unbreakable, you know, no more cracks in the surface. Like, these standards are yours from forevermore. So they went into these breakout rooms and they told their friends, there was about 4 people in every room, and they told their colleagues, this is one thing I've done and it's a non-negotiable. And now I'm in the business of construction, or now I'm in the business of a golf instructor, or now I'm in the business of travel. And I want you to tell me what should be my non-negotiables. So they sat back and they listened to 3 or 4 of their peers going, well, if you're in that industry, and I've dealt with someone in construction, your non-negotiable has got to be that you show up on the day and the time that you say that you're going to be there. And when you start in a site, you don't leave till you're finished. That should be a non-negotiable for you. So they told their non-negotiable, and they told the people they're non-negotiable, and they received non-negotiables from others. It was powerful exercise. And listen to what I heard between 6 o'clock and 10 to 7 tonight. I've quit sugar since I started the academy. I've quit drinking since Christmas. I will always be on that 6 a.m. club. These are non-negotiables. I won't get back on the sugar habit. I'm not going to drink straight after work. I don't think this gentleman has given up alcohol, but he's just not drinking straight after work. I will always do 90 minutes outside regardless of the weather. It's non-negotiable. It's non-negotiable how I will speak to myself about myself. One woman said, and I didn't get time to write it all down, but she said, I will never let a man speak to me, abuse me mentally, physically, or emotionally or spiritually. I will never allow a man ever again. I was like, oh my God, like, it was This is the kind of stuff that happens in the academy, but I'm so proud of that woman. She's incredible. This other person wrote down, for me, quitting is non-negotiable. I was like, oh, that's fantastic. I will never quit. Quitting my goal is not happening. I love that. A person goes, choosing who gets the microphone. So they could, in my head, she goes, that's non-negotiable. I don't let anyone in anymore, not just anyone. Not allowing negative ideas to be drummed up inside of myself is another thing that somebody's non-negotiable. So these people, they seem like small wins, but I said to everybody who was in that room, let's take this gentleman's one about quitting sugar. If we all did that, would we be better off? And they're like, yeah. You see, you guys look at a goal every year and you think it's this big, insurmountable thing, and you don't even start it. And I'm going to teach you tonight about predictable persistence by having 4 pillars. The chair you're on probably has 4 legs. The table you're at might have 4 legs. There's 4 pillars that hold up a persistent you. There's an incredible you right now, and I know you lack a little bit of persistence, but you're going to get it tonight. First thing, the first pillar that holds it all up, that will forever hold you up on another higher standard, same you, same address, sleep in the same bed every night. For a while, maybe your bank balance will be the same, but if you live with a higher level of persistence, it is all going to change for the better. First pillar of persistence, write this down, please, in your workbook. The first pillar is having a definite purpose backed by a burning desire for its fulfillment. So if you don't get these, they're going to be written in the chat, no doubt about it. The team are incredible. They're always typing the things in the chat. Number 1, a definite purpose backed by a burning desire for its fulfillment. A definite purpose backed by a burning desire. Pillar number 2, a definite plan that is expressing itself in continuous action. A definite plan expressed in continuous action. So number 1, a definite purpose backed by a burning desire. Number 2, a definite plan expressed in continuous action. So let's say the person who said, you know what, I really want to quit sugar. I want to take on that challenge. I know there's a purpose for that. Longevity, health. Maybe he studied documentaries. This guy's really into his personal development and health and fitness. He's a wonderful chap, wonderful man. So he's got some purpose behind that. And it was easy to quit the sugar. Then he says, I'm never going back again. A definite plan. Well, I suppose the plan would be certainly the way he shops. And a plan expressing it in continuous action. He might say, I'm going to Dennis's house now, and Dennis's wife always makes tea and puts out the biscuits. So I need to make sure that I say no to that, or I go over there full so I don't have a sugar craving. Something, a definite plan that's carrying itself out. It's small little things every day. The plan can really put people off, but you can only do so many little small actions a day. Don't fear the plan. Number 1, the pillar, a definite purpose backed by a burning desire. Number 2, a plan, just daily action steps. An email here, a phone call there, a loan application here, a conversation there. Don't, like, if you want to go from where you are to owning a hotel, it's always just small little things. My wife is a vegetarian, but she has a great saying back in the days in college where I'd be like, I've all these projects and I can't do it. She'd say, Declan, how do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. Not a funny quote for a vegetarian, but still, everybody's overwhelmed. Oh my God, Declan, I've written this goal, I've emailed it to you, but I must be mad. There's no way I can do it. And I'd say, well, yeah, probably today you won't get it all done, but 1 little step at a time, with the power of the academy behind you, with the belief that you can do it. So 1, purpose backed by desire. 2, a plan expressed in continuous action. 3, and that's why you're here. Really, that's what's attracted you to us. A mind closed tightly against all negative and discouraging influences. This is a long one. A mind closed tightly against all negative and discouraging influences, including the negative suggestions from your relatives, your friends, and your acquaintances. Number 3, a mind, your mind, closed tightly against all negative, discouraging influences. You can't do that. I said to my mom and dad, they're the best parents. You might think you had the best parents. I had the best parents. And they said to me one time, I was working for Francis outside in Kenmare. How are you, Declan? How much is the pound of butter? I was like, I don't know. You see, that's what's wrong with young people nowadays. You don't know the price of anything. You're very wasteful. I was like, all right, Pat. All right, Francis. And I told mom and dad, I said, Mom and Dad, I don't know if I'm going to stay in this hotel business. I'm looking at like more hours. At one point I was working with Great Southern Group as a duty manager, and my hourly rate was couple of quid, because I was meeting the bride and groom at like 1 o'clock after they came back from the ceremony. 3:30 in the morning, I'm still there. And I tell you, they didn't look as pretty at the end of the night when they're roaring at me to keep the residence bar open, but that's another story. And I remember thinking, God almighty, like the more up the ladder I went, the longer the hours, the lower the wage. It was, you know, the only bonuses was maybe I got free dry cleaning and staff meals, and that was it. You know, it wasn't really an industry. And if you're in that industry, like, you know, that was only my experience. I'm not saying it's the true reflection, but my experience, I was being shown that for a reason. You know, there's the hotel industry is a wonderful industry, but that was my 21-year-old interpretation of it all. And I said to them, and I love them and they love me, look, I want to be somebody who stays in hotels like that, not who works. And they're like, oh, the big notions by himself, you know, the fella from Port McGee with the big ideas. That was a discouraging influence from people that love me the most, you know, and they do anything for me. They have given me the shirt off their back. The mind closed tightly against all negative and discouraging influences, even the negative suggestions of your relatives, your friends, and your acquaintances. Sure, you couldn't do that. How would you do that? One of the most inspiring stories I've seen is a girl who has a condition that normally would hold people back, and she runs a gym and a coaching program, and incredible. And she got something to help her run, and she was running on the beach a few months ago, and I was like a bawling, crying like an ass watching her on Instagram running up and down the beach. But there was discouraging influence saying, who the hell do you think you can do that? You know, that's how it can be sometimes. The fourth pillar of persistence is a friendly alliance with one or more people who will always encourage you to follow through with your plan and your purpose. So a mind closed tightly against all negative, discouraging influences is 3. And 4, a friendly alliance with one or more people who will encourage you to follow through with your plan and your purpose. So I see a comment here by Yelena, and it's spot on. Environment is more important than hereditary. Think of it in a negative way. Why did I take up smoking when I was 13? I started hanging around the lads who took up smoking. Why, and the ladies, they probably hung around with me. We all were a bad influence on each other. I had friends who did that, and then I had friends who did cross-country running. So at 16 years of age, I was running up in Santry in Dublin. We won a 10,000 meters, got the gold medal, and before and after, I was like, Benton and had just, you know. So I was hanging around with the smokers and the grunge and the Nirvana fans, and I was in a band, and then I was also a jock running around with the athletics crowd and playing Gaelic football and all that. So I had alliances with people who helped me into good and bad habits. But now I have an alliance with incredible people. They have an alliance with me, and we're just 100% all in on living and breathing the stuff that we love on YouTube. It's not personal development. It's not shelf help. It's life. I'm still a dad. I still have 3 children. I still have a mom and dad. I still have a wife. I still have to-dos, you know, scooping up poop from the Jack Russells in the morning. Like, I have lots of normal everyday things to do, but you know, we have we live a very good life. The people who work in the academy, the students of it, because we are taking half an hour a day and putting it into, I really want this goal. Now, when you really want it, you will be persistent. If you don't want it that much, you'll find another way to quit again. And it's not you. You got to have a desire. You were never taught desire in primary or secondary on the media. You know, look, I'm not getting into any kind of conversation about what's gone on in the last few years, but I really love leadership. I study it. I value leadership. I try and be as good as I can be and get better. I would have loved to see leadership having even one program in the few years talking about the importance of how easy it is to acquire a phenomenal, very powerful, very strong immune system. Like, I would have loved to see that, instead of like, stay away from each other and keep away. You know, it was a lot of fear, and that's all right. We're not getting into a story about that. But, you know, you've got to talk about what's possible and talk about the positives. And that's what a friendly alliance does. Because nearly everyone in your list, if you look back over the 10 or 20 people you called today, yesterday, go back over your call list. Would you tell every one of them, there's probably one on your phone, maybe 2 that you would talk to about it, but would you tell them all, I wrote down this goal last night, on Monday I'm doing this masterclass? And would you be guaranteed that everyone in that call list is going to be like, that's fantastic, Caroline. Steve, that's fantastic. Avril, that's brilliant. You should do that. You could totally do that. Maybe maybe 10% of your contacts list, maybe 5% of your contacts list will actually support you. So it is important to have a friendly alliance with one or more people. We talk about having an accountability partner, somebody that you say, this is what I'm doing, this is where I'm going, and I want you to keep me accountable. I'm going to tell you when I have it done. Is that okay? Yes. We have a WhatsApp group in our team that we use for running the company, but we've a side one, and it's called Witness the Fitness. And that's where we're saying, look, this is what I've done today. We're accountable. I'm accountable to the people who follow me on Instagram that I'm not going to miss one day of getting into that ocean, you know. And if I'm in a hotel in somewhere where it's landlocked or whatever, I'll try and find a lake. If I'm away, I will try. If I have to fill the bath and videotape myself getting into the bath in the hotel and cold water, I'll do it. Ice buckets in or whatever. I will not quit because I've made myself accountable to this challenge. So now that you've learned the 4 pillars of persistence, can you please let us know in the chat, do you think you've been hard on yourself before for not sticking it through? Like, did you sign up for a gym, a personal trainer, and kind of quit along the way and then beat yourself up about it and kind of see the tag hanging off the car and like, I better get that tag off the car, it's annoying me? Is there a singlet somewhere that you took on a challenge and you didn't do it? Is there a singlet hanging up somewhere in some bag of gym gear? It's like, oh, I never quit. I never completed that. Is there a workbook on a shelf for a program you signed up for and you didn't complete? Well, I'm going to tell you tonight, there's 5 very important words. It's not, it's four very important words. It's not your fault. Can we all just say that to yourselves? It's not my fault that I failed in the past. It's not my fault. Tomorrow and Thursday, you are really going to see cold hard proof of why it's never been your fault. Because we're going to teach you how human beings capture thoughts and they take them in unwillingly, good and bad, and how we are all too often letting the good just fade away and living with the bad. Yeah, they're right. And then faking it. Yeah, they're right. I can't do it. Hi, how are you? I'm fine. Yeah, I'm good. But meanwhile, you're like, I'm a failure. I'm no good. I couldn't possibly. Who am I to do it? And dreading things. Okay, so how could you possibly have persisted if you were never taught that you have to have a desire for the conclusion of your goal? How could you ever have persisted? How could you have ever persisted if nobody taught you to put down a plan to succeed? How could you ever have succeeded and been a persistent individual if nobody ever taught you to have a mind that is closed tightly against negative influences, even from those that you absolutely love? And when did you ever have a tribe of people around you, people who are a friendly alliance? In that room tonight, people don't really know each other. They see each other maybe 2 or 3 times a week on a little Zoom, and they're opening up to one another. It's like, for that lady to say, I will never let a man, talk to me that way or physically or mentally abuse me again, that's a friendly alliance. I would say she feels that she's part of a very, very friendly alliance. Now, for her to say that and for us to see her saying it and to hear it, we now are thinking about her in such a strong light. And whether she knows it or not, that's lifting her up as well. Because we'll be talking a lot more about some of this metaphysical, subconscious stuff over the next few days, where if tonight this one guy said, I quit sugar, we're all looking at him going, he's a man who's got discipline. And in some way, it's almost like we're sprinkling a little bit of magic dust on him, and he's going to become disciplined, because there's 20 or 30 people on that call tonight, and he knows that we see him as a disciplined man, and he's going to continue doing that. So let's, I'm always hard on myself about everything. It's not my fault. Yes, I have signed up for things like that and did not go through with them. So now you're understanding. And did you beat yourself up for not going through with it? Diana, yes, and yes. See, that's the problem. And, we watch things like comedians. I love comedians. I love watching stand-up comedy. It raises my vibration. And we'll see them going, you know what it's like. You go here and you go there and you don't do this and you don't do that. And we go, yeah, that's me. I'm like that. Like, we accept all these ideas. And we ask each other, did you go to the gym? Oh, sure, of course I did. I bought the thing, bought the clothes, bought the brand new bag, bought the yoga mat. Shirt is up in the press now. And we have an alliance with other people, and we kind of accept the idea. It's like, so quitting is normal. All right, okay. But eventually you come to a place where I told you about yesterday. You either are desperate and you're in a place of desperation, or you're inspired and you're in a place of inspiration. Now, the other way you change, you're either desperate and you have to change, or you're inspired to change. But both of them require you to make a decision. And it's like, this is it. This is my time. This is for me. I'm changing, and that's that. And when that happens, you need that alliance of one or more people that are going to help you. So you've got to get a mastermind group together. You've got to talk to that person that you know has got your back and say, will you back me on this? You've got to learn how to develop a closed mindset. And that's what tomorrow and Thursday is all about. So keep coming back, because yesterday we scratched the surface by getting you to finally think about what you want. And today we're giving you the first tool of the next 4 days, which is showing you that you can do it. You never had this tool before. Tomorrow, we're going to talk to you about a very important tool about attitude. We're going to be talking to you about a magic word on Thursday. We're going to be talking to you about how fear is guaranteed to show up. It's probably even showed up in some way already during this week. Fear is guaranteed to come in if you're changing your life. We're going to teach you how to see it for what it is and take faith instead, and let fear go skedaddle. I want to teach you that on Friday. Now, I would like to hear, oh, Diana Fox, light bulb moment. Well done. I'm always beating myself up. If someone beat you as much, you wouldn't take it, for sure. It's not my fault I failed before. I love it. I love the people who are writing this. Arthur said, I cannot say no. Well, you can now, but you can, maybe in the past you didn't. Don't declare that about tomorrow. Avril, you were no more. Treat yourself as you treat everyone else. Yeah, these are really good. Somebody said I quit everything. No, I'm aware I used to quit everything. Let's change it up. Hey Taya, I'm always beating myself up. If someone beat you, yeah, that's, I read that already. Matea, it's not my fault I failed before. Good on you, Matea. That's spot on. You know, you're going to learn about what caused it. It's so liberating. Like I text my friends, if for anybody who's in Athenry, there's a pub in the corner in Athenry called Glynn's Pub, and I was sitting there having a pint of Guinness watching the golf, and I text two of my friends, they were still living together, like men behaving badly down in Cork, and I goes, lads, I think I found the secret of the world. It's like, what are you smoking up there in the West that can send it down? It sounds like great stuff, and I obviously wasn't. I was really fired up about the truth, like that I was learning from Bob. You know, I was like, wow, why do I keep doing this to myself? And it's not Declan's fault anymore. It's this flipping concept of the paradigm that we're going to get into tomorrow, and I'm going to show you a diagram that's going to help you to really forevermore visualize. Hang on a second. I can see that negative suggestion from somebody that I love and they love me. They're my own flesh and blood. And you'll see their facial expression, that mocking tone. You'll see the words coming across like a butterfly, and you will not let them into your mind and into your heart anymore. And you know what? I love if our clients have new houses, new cars, new bank balances, new business, you know, showing photographs of all of these packages being sent around Ireland. I love it so much. I'm really happy for them when that happens. I got a wonderful, we had a person on the hot seat a couple of weeks ago who declared they were stuck in a particular way. They couldn't make it tonight, but I'm going to put them on the hot seat during the week, because what happened for them is pure law of attraction. And everybody knows about it because there'll be a popular person in the group. But for me to be able to show this example is really, really exciting, because now I'm going to make this person take ownership that they did this, that they persisted in the right way, because everybody heard how they beat themselves up for procrastinating in the wrong way. They mentioned it in October and November, and somebody said, listen, it's now January and you said this one time in November and you're still talking about it. And the person said, yeah, my wife said I'm saying it for 3 years. But now I'm going to get him back on the hot seat again to say, you did it. You persisted in the right way. So we've got to have those 4 pillars, and you've never had any of them. If you're honest, you've never really developed one of those. You know, you couldn't drive, you learned how to drive. You couldn't even make a cup of tea once upon a time, you learned how to do it. You couldn't live on your own, you lived on your own. You've learned things that are far harder than learning how to think about what you want, but you were never taught to think about what you want. It's far harder to learn to live on your own and pay bills and have children and have responsibilities than it is to learn how to make definite plans and stick to them with tiny daily actions. It's far harder to go through all the different trimesters, childbirth, raising them. Hang on, are they stopped breathing? Checking the cot 20 times a night at the beginning. It's far harder to be up and down to school runs, into creches, changing nappies, or flipping them out of nappies. You're just in your snuggly jammies, and next thing you realize you've no milk for the morning. Get dressed and into the car. It's far harder to do that than to learn how to have a mind closed tightly against all negative suggestions from the flipping news, from the media, from friends, from relations, from people who say you can't do it. It's far harder to open and take on a business, to become an entrepreneur, than it is to learn how to create a friendly alliance with one or more people. Persistence is easy. Can I ask you, in 40 minutes, and I probably did a 15-minute introduction, so in a half an hour, do you honestly think you know more about persistence and you know more about your relationship with persistence in this half an hour than you ever have throughout your life? Let's be honest. Persistence is so easy. And I can guarantee you, I thought I was an F up. And I used to say it, you're a piece of poo, regularly. Even after I started working on myself, I used to be like, such a piece of poo. You're letting your wife down, you're letting your children down. Like the voice, the negative critical inner voice. I didn't need to have an unfriendly alliance telling me I was no good, because I was my biggest boo, you know, not a cheerleader, a booer, a heckler. I'm still quite hard on myself. Yesterday, all of the team and everybody was like, that was such a great session. I was like, I don't know, I didn't really like it. And everyone was like, oh my God, it was amazing. Eileen messaged, that was great. And other people messaged on LinkedIn and Instagram, that was great. And I was like, I don't know. I said a bad word 3 times, and I'm still very, very hard on myself. But I was 35 years like a cork on the ocean, and I've been the last 6 years every day without fail developing myself, studying. And you know what? It didn't cost any more time than what I was wasting on living a life that wasn't my own by my design. The time that I've invested in making a life that's on my design, where Layla's pale from the fear of the dentist, and I said, do you know what, sweetheart, we don't have to go straight home. And we just drove around Carra Lake, and we drove up into these random places, and just, I've never been there. She goes, you've never been here? I said, no. And I just took that time with her today. That's freedom. That's time freedom. I talked to you yesterday about time freedom and money freedom. What do you want time for? Spend time with the people you love the most. What do you want money for? Just a few more choices to not have to downsize. I was in a place the other day. I want to buy a really big freezer so I can fill it with ice for my ice baths and other things too. You know, there might be a bag of chips in there and that type of thing. And your man was like, that'd be very big now. That's very expensive. I was like, that's okay. I was like, that's gas. I can say that now. Doesn't mean I'm rolling in it like, what's your man's name? Ducktales. The Ducktales, remember he used to swim in all the gold like in the morning, Saturday morning TV back in the 90s. It's not like that. I don't have that to do, but I can make choices now that I couldn't make before. So what I would say to you guys is your desire, you got to really go back to yesterday's lesson if you want to watch that last 30 minutes with Bob again and revisit your wants, because Yelena did not write down Suzanne's wants, and Suzanne did not write down, let's get some names out here, Donna's wants, or Donna's wants. Arthur did not write down Matea's wants, and Rowena did not write down Kayla's or Kyla. Your wants are yours. Barney's wants was his. Jane's are hers. Avril's are hers. They're so precious to you. And I want you to really get clear on what's the one thing you want more than anything. And ask yourself why. And then when you get the answer, ask yourself why. And then when you get the answer, keep asking yourself, and you'll get very emotionally involved in your goal. And then you're going to just feel so much more empowered today that you now know that you are a persistent person, and you can be, because you can learn how to tap into desire every day. That's why vision boards work. That's why goal cards work. You know how to create a plan. Of course you do. You make a plan for Christmas presents and the turkey and the stuffing and the Brussels sprouts. It's no different on going from where you are to doubling your income. Plan and do something every day. You didn't buy everything for Christmas in one go. I used to. When I was in my college days, I'd make a drive for Rocha stores in Cork City. I'd buy all the presents, take them home, lock myself into my mom and dad's one of the rooms in the house, and wrap everything under the tree. And they're like, well, that's Declan's present anyway, because it was wrapped like by like a blind badger or something wrapping it, you know. But anyway, I'm good at some things. Wrapping is not my thing, musically or present-wise. So guys, you've really got to get into your desire. Now, please don't complicate this. Don't think, yeah, but what else can I study, Declan? Listen to what I'm telling you to do. Tap into your desire from yesterday. What is the one thing you want more than anything? Make a friendly alliance with one or more people. One of my team is in your corner already. Talk to them, say, look, I'm so close. I nearly feel I can do this now, and it's only been 2 sessions. Is this real? Like, can I really make this goal happen? And talk to them. And if there's something that they want to, they might escalate it to me, and who knows what I can help you with. But guys, this is not fluff and fun kind of soft. This is real life. This is your life. So tap into that desire once and for all. You're going to wait around for another flipping pandemic? Come on, we can't wait anymore. We really got to get the skids under ourselves. We really got to get going here. Tap into your desire. And the next thing is, if you only stopped today with a desire and persistence, you will change your life, because you now know the 4 pillars: desire, plan, friendly alliance, and a closed mindset that just won't listen to drama, will not listen to negativity, will not listen to how you can't do it. You just can't. There's enough examples out there on the internet of people missing limbs and running, like just doing incredible things, like Terry Fox. And in Ireland, we've got this beautiful lady in Cork, Joanna O'Riordan. Like, these people are so inspirational, and they weren't, you know, given all of the abilities that other people are given, and they still went on and did it. Come on, you know they're out there. You don't have to doubt yourself anymore. You don't have to hold yourself back anymore. We're giving you the pieces of the jigsaw this week. You're only on day 2. Be patient with yourself. Make sure that you're booking the time off for the next 3 nights. Make sure you're not letting your paradigm hide. It's like, oh, I don't want to talk to somebody else about it. Talk to your success advisor. We're a friendly alliance. We believe in you. We're probably believing in you and your goal more than you do. And that's 100% of people who start, because they have never, ever written down a goal like that. I don't know if I can do it. Well, we've got tons of examples you'll be hearing throughout the week of examples of people who have done it and are still doing it. Okay. So I've achieved all my goals listed last year. Jeepers, that's not so bad. That's pretty awesome. Who said that? Because I can't see it on there, only on my phone. That's lovely to hear. Are you able to read them 4 points every day? Yeah, of course. Well, you're doing them every day anyway, you know, or great idea to reread those 4 points every day. It is, absolutely. I've achieved all my goals this last year. Thank you very much. Francie, well done. Fair play to you. Well done. Well, Francie, that's a lovely name. Oliveria. Francie, you said, I have achieved them. Thank you very much. What do you think contributed to that? Do you feel you are what we would refer to as an unconscious competence, somebody who just was born with this type of a persistent attitude? Let us know what you think has contributed to that. Noel, yes, having a definite plan to get what I want is definitely new to me. Yeah, and I didn't like plans, Noel. I'm like, oh, I'm the arty farty huggy. I'll figure it out along the way. But planning has been great. I typically, if I wanted to divide up people that I meet into 2 groups, you'd have the real analytical. They need to know all of the how and the way and the why and the systems before they even start. There'd be like one like right brain type of people, I think it is, and then the left brain type of people, it's, or not, the other way around. Left brain is all analytical, right brain I think is emotional. I'm not getting it right tonight, but anyway, there's other people that say, yeah, no problem, I'm in. Show me where the party is. Let's do it. I'm there. I'll talk on stage, no problem. And they don't ask questions. They jump in and they ask questions later. But what we do is we move that group to the center, where the more emotionally driven, spiritually driven, I can see it, I know, I can imagine, I can visualize, I love this stuff. We get them into the kind of the more rigid type planning. Stay with that fluidity, but plan a little bit more, get a bit more disciplined, have more structure. And then those people that are really like structured and disciplined and very straight, and the spreadsheets are like perfect, we get them a little bit more into the visualization in. So everybody in our academy and everybody in these master classes, you're all coming from different houses, you're all coming from different suburbs, you're all traveling on different modes of transport, but every one of us are going to end up together in a nice little center place in one of those European cities, you know, having a nice dinner together and talking about our journey and how cool it was that we all got here in our own way. We have our own baggage, our own challenges, our own abilities and disabilities and inabilities, and we all end up there together if we all learn to just adapt and change and follow the process. So I love it. I did my homework. Somebody said, oh, there she is. I think that was probably, yeah. So she goes, I did more homework. No way. So Francie, you did the homework that I showed you last year. Well, that is flipping beautiful. Tell us what one of your goals were. Thank you so much for coming back again and for telling us. This is class, really, really good. Denise, that's brilliant for reading my question. I have decided to never diss myself again and always be my own fan. Well, Alexandra, you remember in the saying in the story in the Bible, and Jesus said to the apostles, like, before the cock crows in the morning, you'll have denied me 3 times. You said that, and I believe you, but that's not going to go away too quickly. So I'm going to give you a little tip. Get a little elastic band and wrap it around your wrist. And before the night's out, I'm not going to be surprised if a negative thing comes up. Put it back, let it go. Just a little reminder. And I mean it. It's not there's anything wrong with you at all. I'm not going to be surprised. You said I am never going to diss myself again. Maybe even before you go to bed, something would say like, "Oh, you shouldn't have said that." No, Declan's talking about you, Alexandra. You know, it takes a while to get it out of there, and that's why like all our programs are 6 months are over, because it takes time to get this out. I was 35 years thinking so badly about myself, and within weeks of starting this, it all changed. But then it comes back and it goes, and it comes back and it goes, but it comes back so little and so small. I have an announcement to make. We're going to get Dusan and Magdalena to take over now in a few minutes. I just want to let you know, we always get questions, what happens after the masterclass? Where can I go from that? And tomorrow I'm going to open up. We always start kind of towards the end of the week. We give as much value as we can, and we say, look, if you want to continue with us, this is what we do. But we came up with something really cool, and we're going to announce it tomorrow instead, earlier than expected. So at the beginning of tomorrow's session, I'm going to explain how you can work with us full-time in the academy. I'm going to talk about a special offer that's there, talk about the prices and all that stuff, because tomorrow's Wednesday, and if you, I've got to give a really, really, really big incentive for 9 people. There's going to be a big incentive. We've never done it before. We came up with it yesterday, and I just said, you know what? I'm not waiting until the end of the week. I'm going to tell them tomorrow. So tune in, get here early tomorrow, get your backside sitting down in front of the laptop at 5:27 tomorrow, because I'm announcing it right from the top. And none of the team know it yet, just myself and Laura. It's a really, really cool offer, and I'm excited. We're going to start this year off with a bang. And we want to welcome as many of you into our academy as we can. So that's all. That part is up to you. All right, everybody. Well, I'm going to leave now, and I'm going to, this is a first. I finished ahead of time, because as you can see, I can talk. Thank you so much for your energy and your enthusiasm and your attendance. And please, if you're watching the replay, type replay so we know you're watching along as well. Thank you for your homework submissions. Again, I'll finish the call the way I started. Thank you for your kindness with my team and the way you're speaking to those guys. And I want to thank them as well for their energy in our chat. And we have a saying, we talk behind your backs, but it's something I got from Bob and his son. They purposely, intentionally speak well about people behind their backs. Instead of just idle chit chat, they say, let's talk about Doug, and they'll talk well about him, and he's not there. I think that's a really cool technique. So we talk well about you guys in the background. So I just want to say thank you again. So now I'm going to hand you over to 2 amazing people. 2 years ago, I didn't know one of them, and 1 year ago, I didn't know the other. So Dusan came into my life 2 years ago. We're work colleagues. I would call ourselves friends as well. He's a man I admire, and he's a really honest guy and a really good man. And he's learned a lot from me, and I've learned a lot from him as well. And then also a year later that he joined me, this wonderful lady called Magdalena got on a call with Dusan's wife, Jelena, and they chatted about some things and goals that she wanted to achieve. And it's been a pleasure having her as a client for the last year. And then the opportunity came up throughout last year for us to grow our company, and we needed more people. And she put forward an application. I was really happy she did, because she's a truly wonderful person. I got to invite her and welcome her to my home this summer, and we had a bit of spaghetti bolognese. And she'll tell you herself whether it was, I suppose 7 out of 10, I would say. So Huey Doyle said, Declan told me when I started, he reviewed my goal. He goes, I believe your goal is a done deal. Hop on my shoulders and believe in my belief in you, and then you'll believe in yourself. And now I believe more in myself. Well, thank you, Huey. And here I am wondering why I keep needing physio for my shoulders. I didn't mean literally. Like Huey, you could have just taken it, on my word. But yeah, no, look, I appreciate your kind words, my friend. So look, Anne-Marie, thank you. Jackie, thank you. I love the way Jackie spells her name. JCQUI. I think immediately you see that, you're like, she's a fun person, Jackie. Denise Maher, my mother was a Maher. Love the name Maher. How's it going? Do you know what? She still is. She's still alive. I just mean she got married, so her name changed. But anyway, Denise Maher, thank you. Yes, my team are ace. They're fucking awesome is what they are. Simone Shea is here. I recognize you, Simone. Great to have you with us again. Thanks, Diana. Stephen, how are you, buddy? He says, #purpose. That's the truth of it. Nice profile picture. You look like a very happy couple. Andrea's here. Magdalena is amazing. Sarah Jane. There's an amazing person, Sarah Jane, saying, woohoo, Magdalena and Dusan. yeah, everybody's like, Declan, get off. Let's talk to these two people. So I'm out of here. Lots of love. See you tomorrow evening, 5 to 7. Be here because we're gonna announce a really cool offer to start us off. And tomorrow evening is where, as Bob says, the rubber hits the road. It's where you really get going. We're going to be talking about how to have an unbelievable attitude. And then, if you haven't been on the 6 a.m. club, why not? Is your paradigm holding you back? I would suggest double the amount of people that were there this morning are there tomorrow morning. You're going to love it. You're going to be so glad you did it. Okay. Take care, everybody. Let's bring on Dusan. Let's bring on Magdalena. And let's say goodbye to me. Okay. Take care, everyone.
Goodbye, Declan. Hi, everyone. How are you all keeping? Magda, welcome to this session here. So just to clarify one thing, because Declan did not mention the homework. So your homework, guys, is to actually write down the 4 pillars of persistence with your non-dominant hand. This is really important. We want to challenge your usual way of doing things. So write out the 4 pillars of persistence with your non-dominant hand, and again, take photo, take selfie, and post it in the homework section. Don't forget to do that. It's really, really important. Yeah, no worries, Declan. I got you, man. Magda, welcome. How are you tonight?
I am very good. Hello, everyone.
So, guys, what we're going to do tonight, we're just going to recap what Declan was talking about, our journey with persistence. Because look, we were same as you like 2 years ago. I was struggling. Magda was the same maybe a year ago, unhappy with certain things with her job. And like we've been through this journey. So look, we're just going to recap our own experience. So Magda, can you tell me first of all your journey with persistence? How did you what was your life like a year ago with persistence? Like, did you have like a big goals like a year ago? Did you have like a plan for a big goal?
Before I joined TIR, I didn't have a plan. Mm-hmm. But I was I always thought that I'm a very persistent person. I always ticked all the boxes. I was well organized, and whatever I had to do, I did. Okay. But I was thinking when Declan was saying about that persistence and my way towards being better and personal development. So what happened with me, I was very persistent to completing everyday tasks and whatever I had to do for my family, for quality of life. But when I joined TIR, I wasn't really persistent in those new things that I had to learn. So, for instance, hold the vision in your mind, which is very, very important if you want to achieve all those goals, the big goals, and keep that focus. I wasn't persistent with that. At the start, I was doing that in the morning, and then I was so busy during the day that I didn't really have time to be persistent with holding that vision. So for me, that was a big thing. And that was very, very difficult. And I had to learn that. And even though, you see, I really thought I'm the most persistent person I've ever seen, that was a big thing for me. And I really had to learn that.
Look, just one more thing, because myself and Magda we come from a similar career background. We worked basically in the same job, just different companies. But tell me, how was your the whole thing with the environment, with having the right support from people? How was that for you a year ago? Did you have the people around you who were super supportive of your new life and new belief system?
No, I didn't have those people at all. When I was joining TIR, first I joined the webinar and then I joined TIR, Thinking into Results program. I said that only to my husband. There was no one else. But unfortunately, even my husband wasn't very understanding, I would say, because he didn't know personal development. He didn't know the mindset courses. But thank God he loves me very much. And he said, okay, if you have to do it, do it. So he let me, he believed in me. That's the most important. He believed in me and he believed that I'm going to make it work. So then my journey and coming back to the persistence, I had to do everything that was needed to make sure that everything works for me. Because he was just standing there and observing what's happening. So I actually got the first results very, very, very quickly, because my first results came after 2 months. And my husband saw it. And then after 3 months, he saw even more. So he started kind of watching some videos with me and getting involved in the program as well. And thanks to that persistence that I was following all material, Declan's advice, everything that I needed to do to make it work, the goal that I set, I was actually talking to someone today about that. I set a goal, and obviously we were saying that it's going to happen within a year. But in my head, my thoughts were, if I'm going to make it within 5 years, I'll be very, very happy. And guess what? It happened within 6.5 months. So persistence pays off.
we see that really often in the academy now. Just like really, just to clarify something, because you mentioned TIR a few times, and Declan actually posted it in the comments. The TIR is short for Thinking into Results. It's a program that our academy clients study over the 6 months in the academy. That's what they've done in the 6 a.m. club this morning for all of you who have joined. So just to kind of clarify that, that's what Magda was saying. I just want to clarify one thing. Like, I've seen a few comments about people saying, you know, my family's not really supportive. I had a chat with a lovely lady this morning, and she said, like, the whole family wouldn't be really supportive of the career of her choice. But I want to say, when myself and Yana decided to take this journey, and you know, when I started talking to my parents about leaving my job potentially and all, and I remember like Yelena's dad asking us, when I quit my job, actually, he asked us, like, well, how do you guys pay for your food now? It was like completely like new thing for them, but they were not supportive at all. In fact, we had a bit of like few disagreements. They didn't talk to us for a few weeks. So these things happen. You know, that's why I said you have to be really careful who you share your goals with, because look, if you come across some negative feedback, it might kind of shatter your confidence, and it's not a nice thing when you're just starting out. But guys, I just wish you could meet Magda a year ago. If you've seen Magda a year ago and this Magda you're looking at now, it's a different person. So, but Magda, tell me, like, just with regards to having, like, once you join the academy, like, and the support there, like, how was that different compared to your life before the academy and before this support and mentorship?
The biggest difference is that all my life I was working into results, and all my life I knew and I believed in that to achieve things and be successful in life, you have to sacrifice something. So I was sacrificing my time with my daughter, with my husband, me time as well. There was no such a thing as me time, apart from the quick exercises in the morning. And I wasn't feeling great. I never showed that to everyone because I never liked complaining. And people usually take me as a very happy, positive person. But at that time, inside, I was feeling very, very bad because it was very difficult for me. But I was kind of embarrassed, maybe that's the word, embarrassed to say it to everyone. And I was still going that road because I didn't know any different. And, you know, my turning point was when my husband nearly died. And that situation kind of showed me that I'm definitely not in my life where I want to be. And, you know, luckily he's healthy, everything is good. But at that moment when that happened, I had all our life in front of my eyes. You know, for the 6 hours that I was waiting to find out what happened with him. And I knew that I have to give us a change, us a chance to change something. So then I luckily, like the coincidence, I saw that webinar, I think that was 2 days later, and I decided to join the academy and start changing my life. And I realized that you can do things differently. I just didn't know. You know, before I had some sort of beliefs, and I was a very logical person. And as I said, I thought I'm a successful person. And suddenly I realized you can do things totally differently. You might do more thinking, and then your results can be even better. And you can have more time, and you can have that time for your family, for the things that you want to do, and you can start finally live your life. That was something really new for me. So it's everything about beliefs, vision, and then persistent to achieve that.
Absolutely. I
So
just gotta
that's,
say one thing
yes.
there. We see loads of people like they're like everyone here. Just they say, Joe. We see comments saying, "Oh, I feel amazing. Oh my God, this is amazing. I feel so much more confident. I'm inspired. I'm excited. I'm nervous, but like I really like it." Joe, people are like feeling good about their goals now. And you know what? Like, there's a good reason why is that, because you have someone like Declan or the team of success advisors. You have someone who's holding the standard for you. So maybe you came to this masterclass feeling really low. It's the start of the new year. Maybe last year wasn't great for you, and now it's only second night. Let's face it, but like you feel the energy. Like someone's holding this standard and saying, you know what, Magda or John or this person, that person, you can actually do this. We know, we believe in you. We know you can achieve this, and you have someone holding that standard. And that's going to happen for the next 6 months. Let's say in the academy for people who join. Like we do not drop to Joe. We don't resonate with your like limiting beliefs. We hold that standard for you until you achieve that goal. And that's really, really important to have that in your life, because like knowing myself, when I was growing up, there wasn't that kind of support. Even like the conversation I'm having with my parents today, like, I mean, I love them, but it's just completely different conversation. Like I haven't much, like, I remember when we joined, like Declan was like a father to me. Like, and I mean, this might sound silly, but the advice he gave me, the support, I mean, my parents are really supportive with certain things, but like they would not understand this kind of stuff. So like, don't think that just because you came from maybe a negative environment, abusive family or whatever, that you can't change. Everyone can change. So you just need to surround yourself with the right people. And that's what you'll get in the academy. Now, Magda, one of the pillars is a burning desire. Did you really have a burning desire like a year or 2 years ago for a change? Or did you really get that burning desire since you joined the academy?
You see, I didn't have that burning desire because I didn't know that those things are possible. I only knew one way, whatever, like how my parents lived life, and how people around me lived life. So, as I said, I kind of thought I'm doing well. And when I was looking for those changes and looking to make things happen for us, I finally found that burning desire. And that was something, obviously, I didn't believe I might achieve it. I actually didn't believe that it's going to happen, anytime soon. And only because of Declan, when he, at the beginning, it's all great. You have that goal, you're getting emotionally connected to your goal. And, what's happening, you start working on it, and then you're just getting all those doubts. Oh, I'm not worth, like, it's not going to happen. Like, it's not my life. The other people, these are the other people that have some connections or this or that. You always look for excuses. And only because of Declan and that environment that I was in the academy, I actually went back on track quite quickly. And I didn't hear too much about mentoring before joining academy. I actually learned or study loads on master classes before, or I was studying some books myself from personal development. I think 3 years before I joined TIR. But only when I went on a course, I realized how important that group of people and mentoring is. You see, every person is different, and like we have the same program for everyone, and every person writes down, answering the questions, going through lessons, and analyzes everything, looking at their own life and goals. But then that's the coach or mentor's role to guide you to the right direction. Like, even what was the biggest shock for me, I had I think that was second coaching call with Declan, second one. And so I'm explaining to him all about my goal and how I have that plan in place already, and I'm going to organize. And from yesterday I started, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, because I was that type of person. And what Declan told me at that moment, he said, okay, that's great, Magda. I'm really happy. But you know what I want you to do tomorrow? And I was like, yes. And he was, nothing. And I was like, what? You're telling to me to do nothing, and I paid for that program and I have to do nothing? Like, how am I gonna make those things happen? That was like, I'm laughing now because, I went all that road and I am where I am. I achieved everything that I wanted to achieve and even more at this stage. But you see, he knew what my paradigm was. I didn't really realize, because I thought my paradigm is good, and I learned only from that point to kind of stop from time to time. And that made such a big difference in everything I was doing. Just sit and think, not only do mechanical things, do your thinking, because thinking is very, very important. Yeah, but that's why my point is that the coach and mentor is vital.
And I remember when I first joined, I started working on a second source of income, and it started bringing like smaller amounts of money. And I booked a call with Declan, and I told him all about it. I was really happy about these things. And then he challenged me to actually like go like 50 times that, or like 100 times that, which for me at that time was a crazy amount of money. And I actually thought the guy was crazy. I was like, okay, look, whatever, like, you're the mentor. I still think it's nuts, but yeah, look, Joe, he basically challenged me to go beyond my belief system, beyond what I think is possible and everything. And I remember like within like 2 or 3 weeks, I had like a massive financial win, and I shared that with him, and he wasn't even like impressed. He's like, look, I know you can do this. Like, so it's not a big deal. But what I want to say to guys, like, we talk about desire. You mentioned like desire here, and like some people, like last night we talked about goals, and it's probably the first time in a while for some people to even think about what they really want. So that desire might not be there yet, but just to clarify one thing, you will have that desire. So in the first week in the academy, the very first lesson is all about the goals, and I'm telling you, you will not leave that lesson until you and Declan are both in agreement with your goals. And this guy's going to pick your vibrations and pick your energy. He's going to know whether that's the right goal for you, or you feel it or not. So you will not leave the first module until you have a burning desire for that goal. So don't worry if you're not like super clear on your goal right now. You will be like within like first week or two in the academy. We don't leave you. We don't let you move on to second or third module. But let's see. Is there any comments here? We need to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Absolutely, that's true. The power is the now. It's how I feel. No, that's absolutely amazing. Thank you, Magda. Would you like to share anything else here with the?
I was just thinking of. I was just thinking of how to kind of summarize the persistence, and like, no one is born with persistence. And, you cannot really acquire that quality. The only thing is to have that burning desire. And when you find the one, you know that that's it. And the persistence will come straight away. Some people that say that they don't want things, that they're happy with their results. What sometimes happens, they tried something before and they burned so much that they would rather say that they don't need anything more, and they don't even look for the desire in themselves. So, we sometimes have to review our thinking and our life, because there might be different layers of why we're stopping ourselves of achieving what we really, really want. And a little thing about I can't believe that some people are not persistent at all. And women that have husbands probably agree with me. do you remember every single one of us, like sometimes wanted something that much and the husband said no? And then how persistent you were at that time to kind of keep going back until your husband finally thinks, oh, that was my idea, and he actually agreed on what you want, you know? So like women are very good in things like that. So I believe that every single one of us is persistent in something that we really, really want to achieve.
Absolutely. It's all about getting that desire. And look, when we talk about persistence, I specifically said to Yelena to type the quote after I say it, but she's done it before I said it. But guys, just want to leave you with a quote that I heard not so long ago. And again, I was hoping that Yelena was going to type it after I say it, but she reads my mind probably. There's a difference between interest and commitment. Okay, you can write this down, and I want you to ask yourself, like, are you one, or like which one of these are you? So there's a difference between interest and commitment. When you're interested in something, you only do it when it's convenient. When you're committed to something, you accept no excuses, only results. Now, what I would like all of you, like Yelena actually typed it in the chat, so you can read the quote. I want you to ask yourself, which one of these are you? Are you just interested, or are you committed? Let us know in the comments if you want, or just keep it for yourself. But it's really, really important question to ask yourself, because it's day 2. You have a goal now. I mean, look, most of you have like some idea of like what kind of goal you're going after now. Are you just interested in achieving that goal, or are you committed to achieving that goal? It's a really important question. And it's really like a desire check for you, like, because if you're only interested, like, you're probably not going to achieve it. It's going to be just one of the goals that you set and never achieved. So it's really, really important thing to ask yourself. And just another thing we see, I'm committed 100%. That's committed. Love it. People are committed. I love to see that. Now, just one last thing. I've seen loads of people say, "Oh, I'm bad at this. I'm awful procrastinator. I lack belief in myself, or I tend to fail at whatever I do." No, Declan's going to help you with this stuff. We're going to help you like stop procrastinating. We're going to help you stop like lacking belief in yourself. But like, you cannot allow yourself to go back there at any point of this week. We're going to help you with if you lack confidence, we're going to help you with that. If you lack belief, we're going to help you with that. If you procrastinate, we're going to help you with that. But if you allow yourself to go back there and be that person again at any point of this week, no one can help you. So keep the right vibration, keep the right energy, and ask yourself, are you committed or interested? Magda, would you like to say anything else before we wrap this up? I told Declan I'd be like, it's going to be between 20 and 30 minutes, and I want to keep that promise.
No, I would just advise, find that desire that you want to follow, and start changing your life from now, because you can. Because it's your life, and live the life the best you want to live. So that's for me. Thank you.
We all deserve it. Guys, 6 a.m. club tomorrow morning. Don't let your old paradigm be in control. Be committed. As you said, you are 100% committed. So tune in, do your homework, post those selfies in the homework section, and don't forget to reach out to your success advisors, because we really want to help you. All right? Take care, everyone. Have a great night, and I'll see you all tomorrow.
Thank you. Bye.